Just take off your clothes for me. It'll be fine. Just you, me, the camera.
Traditional background. I actually followed him for like a long time before I met him. My previous boss was the one that showed me his stuff because I didn't start off doing traditional. My boss was the one that taught me how to do traditional, even though I was like a working artist at the time. So he was like, dude, check out this dude's stuff. Like, he does like really good flash. He's been doing flash for like a long time. Like, if you need like a rule of thumb, just go back to his page and check out what the fuck he's doing. And it was Mike. So, and I was like, Jesus Pieces. I was like, is his name actually Jesus Pieces? But no, I mean, I would always reference his stuff and like look at it. So a lot of like the earlier traditional stuff that I was doing, I was constantly looking back at his stuff because it was super clean, like easy, like basic traditional like concepts of like how to shape things. So, and it had like all the bright colors like that traditional usually has also. So, I mean, even though he doesn't know it, like, he kind of shaped some of my beginning stuff at the time, so it's kind of cool that it's just like a full circle moment now that I'm working with him.
Yeah, his tattoos are super clean, first off. It's kind of amazing that he's only been tattooing for like 4 years, but he's definitely part of like, kind of the newer generation. Like, everyone's getting good in a year, and then like they're just killing it after that, so.
I really like that he just adds his own flair to everything, you know. You can always tell that when you see a tattoo, you can tell that it's his. Whether that's with traditional or fine line tattoos that he does. I feel like you can always just tell, you know, like if he did a lady head, oh, like, yeah, that's Mike's lady head, you know. Yeah, I think it's really cool. It's very unique.
Hi, my name is Mike, and I work at Change of Heart Tattoo in Arcadia, California. So I grew up in Tucson, Arizona. South Tucson, to be specific, it's like its own separate little town outside of Tucson, or like at the end of Tucson or whatever. At least we like to think of it as that. But yeah, low income area, you know, Chicano community, the standard stuff, you know, that you see every day. Typical day for me. So I work typically like Thursday through Sunday. I like to keep like the beginning of the week to myself and Giulia. So me and Giulia, we have like the same schedule, my fiance. And so we work and live together. Wake up in the morning, usually do like workout, stretch or something, try to get right with my posture, eat breakfast, and then just like do administrative stuff, emails, maybe draw for the appointment of the day. Then I'll just get ready and then come here. Yeah, get started. I just like to take the morning to myself. I feel like as tattooers, we're like at everyone's beck and call, you know, especially with like social media and texting and DMs and emails. It's like constantly being like inundated with communication and, you know, being involved with other people. So like if I can just block out that little section of time for myself, it gets me like prepared, you know, for the day. Start with Vaseline. Usually just 2 caps, one for black, one for gray wash, and I do one for white at the end, but that's okay. The pen for lining usually, and then I have this foil machine for shading, for like my stipple shading. And then for cartridges, a couple of different like mags, shaders. I feel like every tattoo like will kind of call for different stuff, different amounts of stuff. Maybe I might have used 2 needles, 3 needles. Maybe one isn't like doing the best for me, so I'll just pop in a new one. usually wrap up my pen like this so that has a little more grip to it. And then I kind of wrap the paper towel in there just to give it some like, you know, birth, I guess you can call it. Yeah. Battery on the top. Honestly, it just comes down to personal preference at the end of the day. There's really no like perfect formula that you can follow. And then every skin type is different too, so you know, people have different skin types, rough skin, soft skin, sensitive skin, you know what I mean? It's just so different that every tattoo in itself has to have a different set of, you know, tools to make it work. Probably should have organized before you came through, but as real as it gets.
One thing I find fascinating is I think you're the only artist I've seen so far that uses the coil and the
yeah. A little old, a little new. Why not? And that's probably why my tattoos look like the way they do, you know? A little different. But yeah, I think for me, like using the pen and the coil is just like, I like both so much for different reasons, so it's like, I don't know. I talk to a lot of tattooers who, you know, fine line tattooers, or just whoever, you know, to ask if like, what's better or worse, and it's also preference, so it's like, I like both, I'm just gonna use both. I'm gonna call dude back now. Yeah, so I started tattooing when I was 28 years old, and I did a bunch of jobs. I've worked like fast food, I've done like management in fast food, I worked at Jack in the Box, I've worked like more corporate jobs. So I worked in like an office type setting where they, it was like foreclosed homes and mortgages and stuff like that. I worked there for like 5 or 6 years actually. And the whole time I was just painting on stuff, drawing, you know, like on my days off or whatever, and like trying to get tattooed as much as I can. And that was kind of like my last job transitioning into tattooing.
How long have you been tattooing?
Tattooing, like 4.5 years, maybe. I think February of next year will be 5 years. So.
And how did you get into tattooing?
I feel like how most people get into tattooing is like you get tattooed and you're like, oh, this is sick, I want to do this, or like you're already artistically inclined, or you draw or something like that, and they, you know, it kind of takes you. So that was kind of like how I started off. I was like, I've been drawing since I was a kid, like 10 years old. I used to draw like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and everything else you can think of. You know, anything that I could get my hands on that I could replicate, because like I don't know, I didn't know. Whatever I can replicate, and then when I would replicate something, I would show like a family member like Nana or Tia or my mom or something, and they'd be like, oh, it's so great, you know what I mean? So like I would get praise, you know, for doing something right. And I feel like that was like the initial like spark that went off in my brain as a kid, you know what I mean? It's like you make something and you get praise for it, you know what I mean? And it's kind of something that's just like carried me up until like a certain point, you know what I mean? After a while I understood that like, you know, searching exterior validation is just not gonna like be sustainable, you know what I mean? And trying to do something to make people happy every 5 seconds, like a new trick or whatever, is just like not. So you're gonna stretch yourself way too far, you know? So I had to come to terms with like with that and just drawing for myself, you know what I mean? And I think when I spent that time making Flash before I was a tattooer, which was like 5 years prior to even meeting any tattooers, I just did it on my own. No help, no assist. I just like maybe YouTube videos or something that I could find to like learn. But I wanted to make sure that I had a better grasp on what I was trying to accomplish before I wanted to show anybody, you know. And so I did that for the 5 years, and then I showed a couple of tattooers my paintings, and you know they liked it. They were like, "Come hang out with us," you know. And I kept painting and trying to find my way to tattooing.
Yeah, I mean, his stuff is really sick. It's been really cool seeing his progression into like fine line as well. I know him and G are like the fine line masters in the shop, so it's been kind of cool seeing not only his progression with it, but also seeing like G's influence in some of his stuff too. And I mean, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, I always kind of like go over and I check out what like they're tattooing for the day and like how they're executing the tattoos. So a lot of like their stuff genuinely shapes like what I do most of the time. Sometimes I'll steal a couple of tricks that I see them doing, and I'm like, oh, let me just try it out, and it works out. So yeah.
I feel like every time he tattoos, I'm just amazed. I'm just like, damn, it's fucking sick, you know? It kind of makes me sad because I'm just like, damn, dude, I've been tattooing for a long ass time, and I feel like his tattoos are already like better than mine. Like,
Alright, I'm just gonna have you stand right here in front of me so I can put the stencil on you. And then I'll have you check it out in the mirror and let me know if you like the placement, you know? Yeah. Your first one, yeah? Good. And I can walk you through the process just so that you're, you know, so. Yeah, just gotta shave you down over here because it's like it's a nice stencil on there. No, check that out in the mirror. Let me know what you think. Like what's that?
Yeah.
Sick. I'm good to show him.
Mind if I just show my girl?
Yeah, definitely.
Who was or is your inspiration? Either tattooing
Or otherwise, like Jesus Christ. You could leave that in there too. I would say my inspirations, I don't know, it's hard to say. I feel like that can change from time to time. You know what I mean? We're inspired by different things as artists. I feel like a lot of times we're driven by emotion. So it's like whatever we're feeling at that time, you know what I mean? But I feel like Giulia, clearly, you know, she's my partner, she's a tattooer, she's been tattooing like a year or so longer than I have, but like, you know, we've been through a lot of the same trials and tribulations with tattooers, and like, I've seen her grow so much and endure, you know, as I did, that it's like, it's just great that we can both share the same space and work in the same industry together and have that sense of like, you know, synchronicity, you know what I mean? So she's like a big part of it. Obviously, like, our schedules are the same. We live and work together. We're like together 24/7, and it's actually not exhausting at all. It's really fun. So she would be one of them. You know, my little brothers. I have 5 little brothers, and you know they all look up to me in one way or another, and I try to be that leading example that shows them that you know you can do anything if you set your mind to it. I guess because I dropped out of high school and didn't finish any of that. I got my GED or whatever, and then just hopped into like the workforce to just like get my life started, you know. And then you know I eventually found tattooing, and it's given me so much.
So what made you want to get this tattoo?
I mean, I was born into like religious family. I know this is very against like religion and stuff like that, but to me, it means like I seen the art on his Instagram and I was like, damn, you know, like I seen the heart, the cross, you know, and it made me feel like I'm carrying my own cross, you know, like I feel like I carry myself well, do my best to fight my own battles with God, you know. So that's what it meant to me when I seen it.
You said this is your
First tattoo, bro.
tattoo? Oh wow.
I love it. First tattoos are always fun for me. Especially if they're cool ones like this. Like, it's so cool. I'm just letting it dry for a little while. Helps so it doesn't wipe away.
So what made you want to come to get this tattoo?
I was doing like my research on it because I have family members who like have like big pieces and all that stuff, but I was like I don't want to be too big, but like nothing too small. They were like showing me people, and I was like, nah, like I want like a older school look, you know. And I was just scrolling on TikTok, and then his one of his videos came up showing like his art and stuff, and I seen like I was going through his account, I followed him, and then one day I seen him do like a design similar to this, and he posted on his story, and I was like, damn, like that's just fire. So I was like, fuck it, like I'm gonna hit him up, you know, see what's the deal. And he was chill, bro, like he was cool as fuck. Like when I texted him, he responded quick, you know, he responded quick, and any questions I had, he answered with good, like just things I wanted to hear, you know. So yeah, so I was like, the way he was talking, like we were going back and forth. He wasn't like being like, oh, but this and that and third, like that. He was just straight to the point, you know. I was like, I trust this guy to do it. Art's dope, cool personality, you know. So.
How are you feeling right now before?
You know, I've never really been a big fan of like needles and all that stuff, but I'm a little nervous, but I'm just breathing, you know. When you want things, you gotta go through with it, you know.
Oh yeah. Anything worthwhile, it's gonna take a little pain. Ready? Yeah. Cool. At any point in time you need a break or breathe or rest from water, you just want to like stop. Just let me know. You don't gotta power through. I can just stop. Okay. Alright. Style of tattooing that I do is traditional and fine line. You can say like Chicano fine line, just black and gray shading with stippling. You know what I mean? Because that's where it comes from, the Chicano style. But you can make anything fine line. You know what I mean? And same with trad stuff. You can make anything trad too. So I really like how versatile those styles are and how different they can be. You know what I mean? They have their own place in tattooing, both ends. And my first love was traditional. I painted traditional flash for like 12 years now, you know? And I'm always gonna like have a reverence for it, but I feel like the fine line for me has been a lot more challenging. Having to understand light sources and shading and like all of these different aspects of like drawing has been so like fulfilling for me to like step into, you know what I mean? Because there's other styles that are like, you know, Japanese or like ornamental, and it's like I could probably figure it out, but I don't want to. Even like realism looks sick. It's amazing, and these dudes are like balling, you know, like they're. It's not about the money for me, you know. If it was, I'd be a realism guy, maybe, you know what I mean? Not to say like that's why they do it, but I mean, $1,500 portrait. I'll do a little Jesus piece for like, you know, a couple hundred, whatever. So. Forum is like super chill, so it's a good place to start.
Yeah, I was talking to like my cousins and stuff. I was like, where'd you guys get your first tattoo? They were like, oh, my forearm. I was like, why? They were like, it's like the chillest spot. I was like, okay. So I was like, I'll just do it on my forearm. Because originally I wanted to get a hand tattoo first, but they were like, no, like ease your way into it. Yeah, I was like, yeah, you're probably right.
It's good. Yeah, my first tattoo was on my forearm too. My homie did it in like my mom's kitchen or whatever. I was trying to be that down there somewhere. I was like, yeah, bro, like, back me up. Because he just bought it for like a kit on eBay or whatever. It wasn't that bad looking back, but it wasn't that good either. I got it covered up since.
What was it?
It was a rose actually.
Oh, okay.
It was okay. But I don't know. When you're young, if you make certain decisions, you regret them. So good thing you didn't do it this morning.
elsewhere.
Yeah, bro. Like I took my time. Like honestly, because as soon as I turned 18, I was like, I want a tattoo.
Yeah.
Because I've been wanting a tattoo since I was in like middle school.
Oh yeah, same.
Because like I grew up around them, you know, and like seeing all your homies have one, and like seeing like your family members have one, it's like damn, like look, I want one. So I hit 18, bro, and I was doing my research from then, but I didn't really like plan on doing it until like a little later. So my birthday just passed on the 1st. So I was like, nah, like now it's time, you know?
Smart. My favorite thing about tattooing, there's just so much, you know? I don't know. I mean, I guess the fact that I can just provide for myself and like my partner and, you know, hang out with my friends all day long and make fun tattoos that I was doodling on paper like a week prior is insane, you know? It's really just like doesn't make sense to me, you know? Like I feel like adults that don't live in this world and they see that, like if I explain to them what I do and how I do it, you know, I'm just like, why would you do that, you know? Or even like the money, because like, yeah, the money's good sometimes, but it's also not good sometimes, and there's ebbs and flows of seasons of tattooing and how busy you are, the economy, like there's so much that like can affect us, you know, as tattooers, that you have to take stock of all of the little things that make it great and not focus on the one thing that we all do the job for, which is money to provide, to sustain, you know what I mean? I think that when you put it into that perspective and you're just focusing on like the small things, like everyday little things that, you know, keep you happy or keep you going, and like tattooing is sustainable, you know, despite it being slow one season, crazy busy another season, or whatever in between, you know? A lot of people have that foresight to like, you know, wait, to learn and do some research to really, you know, make a decision that's like this, that's so permanent. Like, yeah, it can get covered up or lazy or whatever, but you know, your life's never gonna be the same. Like, ever. So making a decision like this that's so permanent, it's gonna take your time. Find the right person, the right artist, do the one that will answer your questions, that'll listen to you, and that'll help you through the process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, that was you, because I had talked to like some other artists before, and like, but I feel like they were like all like, they had like a bunch of followers and stuff like that. They thought like they they were doing me a favor or something. I was like, damn, bro, like, you know, like I'm a customer, you know.
Exactly. Like there's a balance, you know, like I don't think the customer is always right because they might be misinformed, you know what I mean? And that's totally fine. It's like, you know, tattoos ain't your life, it's my life. So you gotta be accepting of that. But also like tattooers can't think that they're bigger than life and, you know, not treat other people with respect. Right? It's like you guys are paying our bills. It's not gonna get around. Yeah. You know? Like I can look at my life because you like my tattoo. I'm gonna so sick and cool or whatever. So like, you gotta take your ego out of it, be humble. Yeah.
I like the old school, like the Chicano look on all the tattoos. So and I seen your page and I was like, damn, like that shit's like this is like what I'm looking for, you know?
Today, let's see if we get any
That's what I draw for, you know, for people like you.
Yeah, it's really cool because my girl likes drawing and stuff too, you know. So like bringing her along with me is dope because she's like maybe like something that I want to get into.
Anybody can do that too. It's just people that have the motivation and passion to like push forward and really learn it, you know?
Yeah.
Those are people that are going to see you because there's a million tattooers. There's only a handful of dope ones. Favorite thing to tattoo is my flash. So anything that I draw. Literally anything that I draw. I feel like clients are like, you know, I love your work so much, you know, I'm so sick, can you do this thing for me you've never done? And it's like, yeah, I guess I can make it my style, you know, just like, but truthfully, like, I sit around all day long thinking about designs, thinking about drawing, laying out every image perfectly on each sheet. Like, I love making Flash. It's so fun to me. Like, when the fulfillment that I have in accomplishing like a sheet is just like, it's almost more than a tattoo, because like I had to sit there for hours on end doing like 4 or 5 designs. You know what I mean? Going back to like, that takes like discipline, you know? Because like a tattoo, you have to finish it while it's right there. I mean, if I tattoo this, I do the lines on somebody, I'm like, all right, we gotta sit here and we gotta lock in. I'm done, you know? But to keep going back to it, you know, it takes a lot. Especially the way I work. I usually do like 2 or 3 sheets at a time. And I'll do like 5 to 6 designs on each sheet, and I do it like kind of like assembly line style. So I'll do lines, you know, black, shading, or if I'm doing color, I have a color in at the end too. So assembly line style, for me, it makes sense in my brain because I'm not fixated on that one thing for so long. I don't, you know, when you stare at something for so long, you're just like over it after, you know, whatever amount of time it is. So I keep myself guessing. All right, you know, work on this design. And maybe it takes me a little longer to finish, but I have a bigger body of work to put out when it's finally done. So, you know, I'm a patient person. That's all what it comes down to, right? It's like patience and discipline, and you can get anything done. You know. So. Flash, to answer your question, yeah.
And what would you like to tattoo more?
I'd like to tattoo more. In my Flash would probably be my lady heads. You know, I've drawn, for the last couple of months I've been focused on nothing but lady heads. So I bought like a sketchbook. I'll show it to you. You can do like a little flip through of it. But I just drew lady heads on every page. Every day I would draw like 1 or 2 or 3. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe on a day off I'd have more energy or motivation. I'd draw like 5 or whatever, you know. But towards the end of the book, my lady heads look great. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy to see in real time, like the progress. You know, I can just flip through it. And I've never really done anything like that. Usually I'll like paint a sheet, put it in a file, paint a sheet, put it in a file. You know, and I don't look through that stuff. But since it's like in a book together, you know, I can just see how it's gotten better. And I've gotten a chance to like tattoo that stuff. It's really cool. Yeah, I just like post my sketches and people get it. You know, it's like, that's amazing to me because it comes out of my brain or, you know, whatever reference I use, but it came from my hand, you know, like no tracing or anything like that. So yeah, lady heads, and I've been doing a lot of these little Chicano cartoons, the Looney Tunes ones, and people really like those. I really want to do more of those. It just reminds me of like back in the day, like going to the swap meets and stuff like that. You get the really like 3X tall tee, like the hood, you know, like whatever.
SpongeBob or
Bugs Bunny, yeah, that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just like, as a kid, you just thought that was so cool for like no reason. You're just like, oh, I'm trying to be gangster, but I also want to be like a kid. You know what I mean? And like that stuff just like, yeah, it's like a nostalgic thing, right? And I think it just like touches me. It's crazy. Sometimes when we sit there drawing and like smiling to myself, nobody's around. I'm just like, it's so funny, you know what I mean? And then people get it tattooed. It's like the craziest thing to me. You know, it's amazing, really.
Like right now, it's my first job working at a dealership. Since I graduated, I've been there for almost a year now, but right now I'm just supporting, you know, like I'm moving cars around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Where you start?
Yeah, slowly like they're having me move up to the oil changes and stuff like that.
I started in the tattoo shop. I started cleaning the toilets.
Oh shit, okay.
Everybody starts at the bottom.
Just work your way up.
You just gotta be determined and disciplined to, you know, have the patience to get through the hard parts.
Yeah.
You know, everything like, you know, like you said with tattoos. You know, anything worthwhile is gonna have a little bit of pain or a little bit of discomfort. And that's okay. That's a part of growing and learning. And, you know, through that experience, you know, it's a lot more fulfilling than something that's just given to you. Handouts and stuff like that. You take that stuff like for granted because it doesn't matter. It's free. Why do I care? You know? Yeah. If you put in the work and time and effort into something, you just have that much more respect for it and love for it. You know? I love that thing because it's giving me everything. But I gotta give it everything. So really, you get, you know, whatever you put into something is what you get out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Just stick to it. You know, it doesn't mind. Yeah. Every tattoo I do is my favorite, just so you guys know. But I would say, just off the top of my head that I can think of right now, the Jesus back piece that I did, I think that was super cool. He was a really dedicated client, and he was moving up to Portland actually, and he was like, I want to get my back done. I only have a month and a half. Like, you come in every 2 weeks, like clockwork, and you sit for it, we can do it. And we did it. You know, it was like three sessions, maybe 4, 5 or 6 hours a piece, and we smashed it quickness before he left. So that was a good time. That was fun. He's a really good client of mine. And yeah, like the luchador ladies, I really like those. You know, I feel like I just started seeing them popping up here and there, like explore pages and stuff like that. But like before that, I had really not seen that. You know, not like I'm the first one to think of it or whatever. Obviously not, but I hadn't seen it, so I was like, I'm gonna do it. You know, I started like looking up like the old school like luchador, like masks and stuff like that, and I just got my lady heads and put masks on them. You know, and then people like really responded to those, and I was like, these are fun because Nacho Libre is like one of my favorite movies of all time. You know, I feel like as a kid you had to have seen that. I'm 32, so like if you're that age, you probably have seen Nacho Libre, and like if you don't like it, that's crazy. You know what I mean? And like Mexican kids, like we love it, dude. You know what I mean? I feel like you just Jack Black like perfect next one.
I feel like the lady heads, the cartoons I know he's been doing a lot of recently, and he's been fucking knocking them out the park. So those are really sick. But definitely the lady heads for sure. I think they're really sick, and then the way he draws them too, are with like the big eyes. I feel like it's pretty stylized to his preference. So I mean, whenever I see him do it, I'm like, yeah, that's like one of his hats for sure. So I would for sure say the lady heads.
He's doing different shit, right? Like the masks. That's like something you don't see that often. Or even like the cartoons. Like you don't really see people like killing it with like the fine line tattoo, like the cartoons like that. So yeah.
The girls for sure. Yeah, I love all the lady heads that he does. I just think he adds his twist to it. I really like that. His cartoon drawings are really sick too. Like all the Chicano style, the Chicano like influence that he adds to his work is really cool. Even with the cartoons, like I said, like I like how he adds his own flair to it.
What got you into tattooing? Just like drawing and then like...
Yeah, pretty much. I've been drawing since I was like 10 years old or whatever, and I used to draw like a lot of Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Disney characters. Basically, I wanted to be a cartoonist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was like what I wanted to be like growing up into my teenage years and all that stuff. I tried to go and then like did like an art college or whatever, and it was all like digital design, and I just like I couldn't get behind that. You know what I mean? Like it's so hard to me. And I was like 18 at the time, so I started getting like tattooed or whatever, and then like that just like took me over. Thinking about my next tattoo and like, you know what I mean? Like, I think of all these great ideas, or at least what I thought were great ideas at the time, you know? And I was just like, man, I'm just gonna draw my own tattoo. Not that I'm gonna get a tattoo, but like, if I can make like the idea on paper and maybe give it to them, maybe they can make something better out of it.
Yeah, like maybe they could like add their own little things.
Yeah, I didn't even like end up showing any tattoos, any of my drawings until 5 years after I started doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I took my time because like when I really got down to it, I was like, oh, this is actually a lot harder than I thought. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times like people like look at like especially like traditional tattooing, like very simple, very cartoony, very easy, whatever. But sometimes the things that are like the most simple, like that have the most finesse, like you gotta like learn that, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it took a lot of time learning about drawing and just working towards tattooing and trying to understand it by myself. I was kind of too shy to like ask for help or whatever, you know? But eventually I found the right people and figured it out. Favorite tattoo that I've gotten? Wow. That's so hard. I can't even think like a meaningful tattoo or something. Maybe my back piece. just because it was so brutal. Like it was definitely like an accomplishment. You know what I mean? I felt so done after that. But I mean, I like all my tattoos. You know, for one reason or another. Maybe it's like the tattooer, their designs, or if they're friends. You know, I right now, or pretty much at this point, I only get tattooed by homies or people that I really like. And even then, that's still like a maybe, because I've met a lot of my heroes, and, you know, it's never what you think it is. You know what I mean? Or maybe they just weren't feeling it that day, or they just didn't care, or you're just not somebody important to them, or whatever, and that's totally fine too. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, as a client, you don't need to have the red carpet rolled out for you every time. You know what I mean? I like to be accommodating, but some don't. You know, that's just how everybody works differently. I think because, you know, I've been tattooing for 4.5, 5 years now, and I've been like in the scene and in the industry, and I've met enough people and worked with enough tattooers that like I just know who I like to be around and who I don't. You know, and I feel like it's just like, that's life, that's people, that's everything. You know what I mean? Us as the only thing, like tattooers, that's the thing that we have in common. That doesn't mean that we're like brothers in tattooing or family or whatever. We just do the same job. Our likes, our interests, our perspectives, our politics, our religions, our everything, it's completely different. That's the one thing that ties us together, you know what I mean? And it's not something that I feel like we have to always be everybody's friend, you know what I mean? And it's not like, oh, forget them or whatever. It's just like, you can't be everybody's friend. You can't like divide yourself up that much and still be yourself. That's why I don't give people a lot of myself, you know, unless they, you know, come for my time, you know what I mean? They pay for my time, and then it's like, okay, I'm gonna give you me, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, like I don't. There's nothing that I would like take back as far as tattoos go. Sorry if I rant or just ramble on.
No, it's fine. No, this is good stuff for us.
Cool. Yeah, just there's thoughts, you know.
I really like tattoos, bro. Like, I have a cousin who went to the army and he came back and he dropped a lot of money just all on tattoos. He came back and he got like both his arms done, like both his legs, from like the knee to the ankle, and he got like his chest and his back done, all in the span of like, I'd say like 7-8 months of being back.
Determined, huh?
Yeah, bro.
That's good, yeah. I was the same way for a minute, and then like it got to just like very painful spots, like my ribs and shit, and I kind of slowed down. Chilling out. I was getting tattoos so much just to try to get involved with that movie, you know? Yeah. It's like I hate getting tattoos. And like most of my body's covered.
Yeah, I talked to my friends who got tattoos and they were like, I told them I was getting it and they told me like at the liner where you're,
Oh, the ditch?
yeah, the ditch right here, they're like, be careful for that spot, you can like brace yourself. I'm like, nah, you guys are just scary. But then I did like my research on the spot, and it's like right there is one of the places where most of your nerves are at. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it hurts. Because they try to work around it, you know? It's a funky space too, so like, you're gonna get a lot of bending, so I try to tattoo like all the way up and then like right here, so that I'll do like a gap filler or something here, just kind of something with more background, not like vocalize something like that. Yeah. You don't want it to be a centerpiece. At least most of the time. I don't know. But
Everybody has their own little things.
yeah. So like, really, if you wanted it, I mean, if you keep doing it, like, I really want to hear, I'll be like, alright.
Yeah, I feel like tattooing and like the artists, you know, I feel like it's like just a place where, like the community of tattoos, I feel like it's a place where like a bunch of just creative minds come together and then,
Yeah, we try, but so we're doing it, trying to make cool stuff. I don't know if it's really changed that much. I've only been doing it for 4.5 years, and I guess like with social media and TikTok, like when I started, it was already kind of like that's how you got into tattooing. You know, you created a profile, created like some platform for like people to come and check out your work. You know what I mean? I use it as a portfolio. But with like social media and TikTok and Reels and all these other things that are a part of what socials are now. But like us as tattooers, we have to have that mindset as well, and it doesn't make it any more easy. You know what I mean? Like it's hard enough all the stuff that we have to juggle on a daily basis as human beings in our regular lives, and then we have to come to work, and then we add another layer of work on top of that work. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's only getting, I want to say more difficult, but with the way that they have the algorithm changing so frequently, you can't ever figure it out. And that just makes like tattooing, like, I don't know, you just lose like a sense of like passion for it because you have to, you know, produce or perfect or create content that's going to be seen by people enough to like come in and possibly get tattooed by you, you know what I mean? But that's like the name of the game now, and it's like you got to kind of like hop on a wave and learn how to ride it or drown, you know? So.
My mom is like really religious, so I told her I was coming here today, and she was like, no, you're not. I'm like, bro, like, bro, I pay rent now, you know. Yeah, I told her what the piece meant to me at least, you know. Yeah. And she was like, okay, like that's understandable. She was like, I'm not gonna be like supportive of it, but you know, like at the end of the day, like you said, I'm my own.
Yeah. Love you regardless. I like the piece. My grandma probably likes my religious tattoo. She like sequencing it. She's like, oh, not another one. I'm like, oh, I'm looking for Jesus, and she's like, oh, okay, I like that one.
Yeah, that's why I went like religious piece first, you know.
Yeah. You gotta ease them into it.
I'm planning on getting her name at some point, but I'm really like I want it to be like mixed in with like a design.
Yeah.
But I just wouldn't know how to do it. You know?
That's my job. My favorite artists. Yeah, so definitely people I work with. You know, I've learned the most I have in like the last year and a half that I've been in LA. Like my style has like tremendously changed from just this year and a half working here with these people specifically, because before that I was in a private studio and I worked with one of the artists, one of my best friends, Kyle Husky, but we kind of worked different schedules and we had such different styles. You know, I picked up as much as I could from him and learned, you know, because he's been tattooing a bit longer than me. It was just so different. I feel like having a shop dynamic is so important for any artist because it gives you like a handful of different perspectives. You know what I mean? Because if you're just learning from this one person, you're only gonna learn that one thing, and that's fine too. But like, there's enough tattooers out there and enough shops out there that, you know, you can find your family, your people, your, you know, community of tattooers to help you grow as a tattooer. Even if it's like tattooers that like maybe you don't like their style or you don't, you know, they're not as good as you or the experience or whatever is, you know, different, you're still gonna learn something. Like I've learned stuff from teaching the apprentice stuff, you know what I mean? Where I have to like check in on myself and be like, wait, do I really know how to do that? You know? So it keeps you on your toes. And then like, yeah, right now me, Brandon, and Hunter are like trying to paint a sheet a week till the end of the year. I think we're trying to do 10 sheets. So, you know, he kind of keeps us motivated, and it's like friendly competition and stuff like that. I feel like that's like the best way to grow is around like-minded people who like you can like shoot the shit with or spend time with. You know what I mean? You know how it is to work jobs with coworkers you hate. That's like the worst thing ever. I mean, if your manager sucks or your coworkers suck, like that job is gonna be unbearable. You know what I'm saying? Like as tattooers, we know that, so we try to like, you know, find each other, and I think we have a really good family here. So like those are the ones that inspire me the most, probably. Yeah, so Giulia Spinelli, Brandon Rufino, he's like 20-year weekend on Instagram. Giulia's socials are Giulia Spinelli Tattoo, that's my fiance. Aaron Garcia, I can't remember his Instagram, but I'm sure he'll plug it or whatever. But yeah, he's a great tattooer. He's the other co-owner of the shop, and he's taught me so much. He's been tattooing for like 12 or 13 years. It's crazy, we're like the same age, but like in tattoo years, he's like so much older than me, you know? So I kind of still look up to him or whatever. And then yeah, Valerie. Valerie's a great tattooer. I don't know her social, but yeah, you guys all need to check out all of their work.
Dude, we actually like one of my favorites recently that he did was one from it was like a dragon head. It was Trav from we do like 150 like a 150 flash deal. We'll do like a new sheet each month. So maybe it was like 2 months ago, but there was this dragon head on there. But the guy wanted it bigger, so he kind of redrew it. It still looked exactly the same, but he added like more detail to it. It was super clean. I think he has it on his page if you want to look it up. I think it was like a green dragon with like yellow in the spikes, like around the eyes and like the chin and stuff. It looks super sick. Yeah, it was super clean. Because a lot of like even like new guys that like will talk about him, they always talk about his fine line shit, which I know that's what he wants to do, but his trag's like super clean. Yeah. I have like some trad stuff from him too, so pretty sick.
I was telling him earlier, bro, like the shop is good.
Yeah, we try to make it cool.
I've been to like 3 different tattoo shops. The ones that I've seen, bro, they didn't really have like their art on the wall. They had the books like y'all have them, but they didn't really like have like all the pieces on the wall.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It takes a lot of time and effort to make this stuff. Most tattooers don't want to do it. I try to make new flash like 2 or 3 sheets a month right now, just because like with work and stuff and balancing out everything. But most tattooers, everybody's different. Everybody's different. In terms of how busy they are and stuff like that. Or I just started painting flash before tattooing, and I was like, well, I think this is how you do it. So I fell in love with like making cool flash. I'm very intentional about the designs I put together, what's on the sheet, how it's laid out, like everything is thought out,
I know the piece that stood out to me when I first looked on your Instagram was that one right there. You posted that one. The one next to it. The Looney Tunes one.
Oh yeah, the Looney Tunes. Yeah.
I had I seen it. I was like, damn, like that's fucking dope,
Yeah, I love those ones. That's what I was telling you. I wanted to be a cartoonist, and I kind of am. Worked out that way, You know that feeling, when you like make something and you're just like, oh, it's so good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I 100% understand.
Like I did it, you know what I mean? Like that. When I finished that, I was like, I put a smile on my face, and I was like, this is what I do for really.
Yeah, I feel like when you create stuff, like you understand that feeling.
Yeah, exactly.
Feeling of making something that you're gonna call yours.
Yeah.
But like share it with others,
Right. And then if people like fuck with it, then that's like a bonus.
It's like,
Because you still like I fuck with my shit, you know what I mean?
like I fuck with my shit, but what do you mean you fuck with my shit?
Yeah.
Like, 100%.
That's how I am. Like every drawing that I do is like something that I would want to get tattooed.
Yeah.
I don't draw anything that I don't want to tattoo, or that I wouldn't wear on myself. It's like so hypocritical. I'm not gonna just like make some shit because everybody likes this or that.
Yeah,
or
it's
that's
like
the
something.
wave.
Yeah.
I don't hop on the wave. I just do what I think would be cool, and hopefully like people see that too. And I'm blessed with people that do see it. Like, dude. Yeah, pet peeves I feel like aren't really like, I don't know. I mean, it just depends on the day, right? Like something could just bother you just because that day, you know what I mean? And any other day it might not. So I feel like you just gotta try to roll with the punches. There's gonna be little things here and there that are gonna like get in your way or cause, inconvenience or confusion or stuff. You just gotta kind of just let it roll off. Sort of drop. Like every day is a different day. A different client, a different body of part of the skin, a different design, different problems. So I really can't say any one thing is just like annoying to me because I love tattooing so much that like you gotta have the bad with the good. It's life, right? You can't say like, oh, I love tattooing, but I hate it when I have to do this, and that. But you don't love tattooing. You like it. It's your job, you work, but you don't love it. Because when you love something, you accept all of the flaws, all of the bad, and then all of the good, everything that comes with it. Tattooing is like a partner. Tattooing is what you make it at the end of the day. But for me, I don't think there's anything that's really that I feel I have to express is like that important to me to be like, this thing I despise that people do. So people are gonna do stuff to bother us all the time. You know, you just take it in stride.
This shit is fucking fire, bro. I keep looking in the mirror, bro, and it's like I'm about to be posted up like this for the whole like next month. And, Someone's gonna be. Hey, that's why I put it on my left because I'm left-handed.
Sick. Yeah.
But like, so actually, like this is gonna be my personality for like the next week.
Tattoo guy, huh? Fuck it, dude.
First one. I feel like it's Mando, bro. As the first one.
You earned it. You sat through it. You got it.
I feel like if you're like a good tattooer, you probably come from like tattooing traditional first, just as your base. There's like strong fundamentals in like traditional tattooing, which is why he can get down with like his fine line shit now, because like he has his fundamentals down, you know. So now he can experiment and like do different shit. So yeah.
Any advice that I want to give to anyone in tattooing? Yeah, take your time. Draw, paint, and make flash. Like, at least that's how I came into tattooing. If you like my style, if you like my work, and if you have any questions or anything like that, you can always reach out to me. I literally will talk to anybody about tattooing. Anybody who's drawing, anybody who's painting, anybody who's tattooing. Like, I don't mind giving advice because it's just gonna help them, further them, or maybe they won't use it at all, and that's fine too. But anytime I've gotten advice from any tattooer, I've held it so sacredly that that in itself has made me such a better tattooer. Just asking questions, being open, and being willing to invest in that time, right? Because like I don't just go and walk into a shop and be like, hey, like, can you get show me this or that? You know what I mean? Like when I first started, I went into a shop and I got tattooed by the tattooer and got the designs that they wanted to do. You know, and you're like, oh, what do you want to do? You know, what kind of stuff do you like? Oh, I like to do my flash. Don't start picking up flash. You know, don't make them custom, whatever. Like, even if you want to get into tattooing, you think your ideas are super sick. I thought mine were too, and they really weren't. You know, so let them lead you. You know, they're the professional. This is our life. This is what we live to do. This is what we think about all the time, every day and night. You know, so like let us do our thing, and you're gonna get the most out of that.
How you feeling after?
I'm feeling good, bro. This shit's fucking dope. You gotta get into the light now?
Oh yeah, there we go. It'll turn out really clean.
Hell yeah, bro. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be here for a lot longer, bro. I thought I was gonna be here for a lot longer.
Yeah, same.
He was getting down though. He was getting down, and like his hand isn't heavy, you know. Like it was like the only time it hurt was in the places it was supposed to hurt. Like the only generally the only thing that really hurt was just up here, like above the cross, and then like a little bit down here, like when he was like passing by, over the spots he shaded in already. Like other than that, I feel like I'm surprised I was able to handle it, honestly. It's like my girl will pinch me and that shit will hurt.
Yeah.
But I was able to sit through it. It also started hurting. Like I was telling you, bro, when I looked at this shit too, when I was just looking at him going, I was like, damn, why is it starting to hurt? I was like, why is it, like, you know?
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy how it came out, bro.
No, it turned out real nice.
Yeah, he did my stomach actually. So
Oh, you did?
yeah, he
Would you
did.
want to stay? I think you could show
I
it.
don't know if he wants to show it, but I'm gonna show it anyways. Yeah, he did my stomach. Not this one, but he did the 2 dragons. No, yeah, you're good.
You did the dragons?
Yeah,
Oh, wow. How were these?
they sucked. Took, I think like 5 sessions. Yeah, I was being a bitch about it, so I didn't want to do it all in one go, but he knocked them out.
How they look?
Yeah.
He did this one. That one's sick. Even like these, he just drew these on. Like that one's cool. And then he did like these little ones That one's like spider. He just drew that on. So like he does like trad like really well too, you know?
I got my first one when we first started dating from him. A little ashy, but this was the first one that I ever got, this little wolf. And then he did this little clown, the mouth, the brick wall. I have a Jesus piece from him actually.
You got a Jesus piece from Jesus piece.
Yes, I had to. He has a Betty Boop from me, so I'm like, I might as well have a Jesus from Jesus pieces. Yeah, it's like a Jesus and a rose. One of my favorites. Just love all the detail in it, the hair, contrast. Yeah. And then little skull, the hot stuff is from him. That's everything so far, but I'll definitely get more soon. Just trying to build up the courage.
Too bad.
Nice. First one, bro. That's sick.
How was it? Really? That's your first one?
First one.
Damn, that's a sick first one, dude.
How to get it, bro?
Yeah, it's a great start. Mike's freaking sick with the Sacred Heart, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
I mean, he's my mentor, so I'm biased.
So would you think you'd be coming back to?
Hell yeah. 100%. Like, he doesn't even know it, but I built a special connection with him, bro. Like,
Show the homie over there.
So cool, so clean, bro.
hell yeah,
Is
bro.
that single needle or
It's a type 3.
type 3?
I'm like a straight 3 actually.
Very clean, bro. Like the thorns, so shiny.
Yeah. I never know what to do with them. They're so hard. I've done like so many different Jesus pieces, you know? Like, you gotta make the thorns really cool.
That's great. Oh yeah.
First half.
Where's that? We can start, bro.
Very good stuff.
Beautiful.
What was your safe real quick, brother?
Can I put your gun somewhere? No.
What would I like to say to somebody considering to get a tattoo by me? Just hit me up. Really, that's the best thing you can do, honestly. Like, I don't know, it's super easy to get tattooed by me. You can just shoot me a message. I'll sit there and take my time explaining to you everything about the process. If you have questions about anything, when it comes to like the design, placement, size, all that stuff, we can talk through things. You know what I mean? Like, I know what it's like when you walk into a shop and you're just like intimidated, you're nervous. Like my handful of tattoos, the first ones, like I was just like, listen to them, and literally they let them take charge or whatever. I got some good tattoos out of that, but like I feel like I wasn't hurt as much, and I didn't feel like I was educated in the way that like I should have been educated as a client, because it's a part of our job as tattooers to educate clients. To show them the process and how we do things. That way that they can take that for the next time they go get tattooed. Like my client today, he got his first tattoo, He had waited, he said, a year and a half or a year and some change or whatever, doing research, looking for the right tattooer. He happened to find me, And I think it's important to do that. And don't try to get tattooed by somebody who's going to give you the best deal. Or at least make sure that their work is good, It's like, this is forever, this is permanent. It's not something you can just, you can get it lasered off or tattooed or whatever, but your skin won't ever be the same. So you need to go to somebody who actually thinks about that, not just like taking your money and doing a sick tap or whatever.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Cool. I don't know where you want me.
Yeah, we're here. Let's go.
Go all the way down?
Yeah, that's good right there. How long did this one take?
14 hours, 7 sessions, I think 2 hours a piece.
What would you say hurt the most?
Oh, the kidneys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude.
So like getting the angels there?
It's crazy, yeah. It feels like somebody's like jabbing you with a knife.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the tattooer that did that, we don't talk. We have this one too. Actually, he did this one.
Oh, I got the Rock of Ages too.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one on my thigh recently too.
Oh,
I'll show you that one.
nice. Hell yeah.
Think you want to do a tattoo tour? Because that's sort of a thing I do too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't really want to. Do you want to take off my pants and all that? I guess.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I can show you my tattoos. Why not?
I know people like seeing that, and it's always something I'm interested in.
Yeah, that makes sense. You have the mind for it, Ida. So I do what you say. Just take off your clothes for me. It'll be fine.
Just you, me, and the camera.
There's like a Seinfeld episode where like George does that.
Oh, for the painting.
Yeah. It's a photo booth lab, and so he gets what do you call it? Photos developed or whatever, and there's like one that they slip in by accident of like a lingerie model, and he thinks it's like the lady that works at the photo booth or whatever. So he's like, oh, I gotta like. He thought he was flirting or whatever, so they're doing like kind of like a sexting thing or whatever. But so he has Kramer like set up a thing in Kramer's house and like takes the pictures.
Oh, that's where that.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Like, my uncle has that photo of like him when he's like spread out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny, dude. Yeah, and then there's like a big like black dude that works at the same photo booth lab, and he sees that, and so he takes pictures of himself and gives them to George because he thought he was flirting with him. It's so funny.
Yeah, where do you want to start on your tour?
I mean, shit, I don't know, wherever. I mean, the legs, whatever.
I'll work our way up.
Did you want me to tell you about them? Or?
Yeah, sort of like run me through yourself.
So yeah, this was actually my first fine line tattoo. I think one of the first ones. Yeah, I got it from my buddy Nick Dirk. He works in Portland as well. But yeah, most of it's traditional, obviously, with a little bit of like fine line kind of scattered in there. Kind of going all the way up pretty much. I wanted to make sure that my thighs were like, you know, matching, use up the space as much as I could. So
How was it inside the thighs?
oh, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Because some people have been telling me that those spots are. Because I've been getting my thighs done too, and I've been ready to get my insides done yet.
I mean, it can be quite sensitive in some places, but like, a tattoo's a tattoo's a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. What about the back of the thighs too?
Those actually do hurt.
Okay. I was afraid for you.
Yeah, those will kind of rock your world a little bit.
And what about your knee ditches too?
No, these were fine. I did them both the same day, one after the other. Actually, my only like tattoos, they're like for my little brothers. Yeah, 2 of them.
What about your calves? How were?
Calves are horrible, dude. Calves are like the worst absolute pain ever. Aside from my back. Yeah.
Let's go through your lungs.